this is gonna be palpation sites of the lower leg and foot. In this video, we're gonna focus on the bones of the lower leg and foot, and I'm gonna start up high and work down lower. So let's start with the two bones of the lower leg. So our two bones of the lower leg are gonna be our tibia, which is on the inside, and our fibula, which is on the outside. And the easy way to find them is to look for these two big bumps on either side of the ankle. The two big bumps are the ends of each of the bones. So this is the end of the tibia, and this is the end of the fibula. So if we walk ourselves up from that bump, this whole bone here is our tibia. If I walk myself up from this lateral bump, this whole outside portion is the fibula. So those are our two bones of the lower leg, the tibia and the fibula. So now let's work into the foot. So let's start with the talus. The talus is a bone that connects, like basically between the tibia, the fibula, and the talus really make up our ankle joint. And so our talus is gonna be easy to find. If we go between these two big bumps, go right in the middle, and dig in right here, we're gonna be able to find the top of the talus. Now, if you can't see what I did here, here's the two big bumps, the tibia and the fibula. We work towards the middle, and you can see these tendons here. And so for my model here, I'm gonna have them pull up into dorsiflexion, so pull up. We see these two tendons. If I go right in between these two tendons and push down, relax, and I start to push down, I can feel the top of the foot, and I can feel this talus right here. So our talus is right here. So it's between the tibia and fibula, and it's right in the center, and it's the top of the foot. So there's our talus, okay? The next bone we're gonna do is the calcaneus. The calcaneus is our big heel bone. So if we go to the back of the foot, and we can feel this tendon here called the Achilles tendon. If we take this Achilles tendon and go down to where it attaches, this whole big bone, this structure, is called the calcaneus. The calcaneus is our heel bone. So those two are really easy to find. So the tibia, fibula, calcaneus, and talus are easy to find. Now we're gonna get into stuff that's a little bit more complicated, but again, it's still not gonna be very hard. So we're gonna stay on the inside portion of the foot. So inside portion of the foot, if I find this big bump, the end of the tibia here, I work down just a little bit, about a thumb width, and then I'm gonna move up the foot, and I'm gonna go slowly up the foot. I'm gonna feel kind of a bony prominence sticking out. It's gonna feel like a big hill, like a bump sticking out. This is called our navicular. Our navicular is the first of our tarsal bones after our calcaneus when we go up the medial side here. So this would be our navicular. If I keep going, I'm gonna feel myself kind of come off that navicular, and I'm gonna feel here, I'm gonna come this big long bone coming this way. This is our first metatarsal. So I'm gonna keep coming here, the first metatarsal. The first metatarsal ends right about there. And between our navicular and the first metatarsal, we're gonna have our medial cuneiform. If you're wondering where that is, and if you're trying to figure out if I'm on the right thing, an easy thing to do is have them go into, and I'm gonna slide by the video here, have the athlete go into dorsiflexion and inversion. So go ahead, pull up this way. This muscle right here is called the anterior tibialis. It's gonna come down and attach on the medial cuneiform. So I can follow this tendon that's popping out, and I can see okay, relax. Now I'm kind of right on that medial cuneiform. So again, coming on the medial side here, we have our calcaneus. I come through here, I find that bony prominence. There's our navicular. Here's our medial cuneiform. I keep coming here. Here's our first metatarsal, and that's the whole medial side of the foot, okay? Now, with the metatarsals, they're just by numbers. So the first metatarsal is right under the big toe. The second metatarsal is a long bone that's right under the second toe. The third metatarsal is a long bone that's right under the third toe. Fourth metatarsal is a long bone that's right under the fourth toe. And the fifth metatarsal is a long bone that's right under this fifth toe. Now I'm going to use those metatarsals to help me find the last of the tarsal bones. So relax your foot for me. So we have our first metatarsal here, right underneath the big toe. If I go here, I can find the second metatarsal right underneath the big toe, or right underneath the second toe, I should say. And I'm going to follow this down, and I can feel this whole bone. It's a big, long bone. And then there's going to be a point where it ends, and it connects next to a bone that feels like a little box. That would be our second cuneiform, or our intermediate cuneiform. So find this second metatarsal, real easy to find. It's underneath the second toe. Follow it down till it comes to an end, which is right about here. And then it's going to transition into this intermediate cuneiform, and sometimes it's called the second cuneiform. For the next one, find the third metatarsal, come all the way down. Again, find where it ends, right about here. And then I'm going to find underneath it the third cuneiform. So the third cuneiform is right there. I can feel it, feels like a little box. It's right underneath the third metatarsal. To find the cuboid, I'm going to come underneath the fourth metatarsal. I'm going to follow it down. And eventually I'm going to feel it end. It's kind of ending right there. And I'm going to get to this bone called the cuboid. If you're not sure if you're on the cuboid or not, kind of easy. Bring the camera around here. You'll see this space here. This space is called the sinus tarsi. In this space, we have this bump here. That's the end of the fibula called our lateral malleolus. Over here is going to be our talus. And this little cavity here, the bottom of it right there, that's our cuboid. And if we take our cuboid, that's our cuboid. If we go from our cuboid up, then we're going to hit our fourth metatarsal. So you can find the cuboid coming from this direction, going from the lateral malleolus down, or you can find the cuboid going from the fourth metatarsal, working down until you feel it end, and you can get on the cuboid right here. Okay? So that's all our metatarsals. We've covered all of our tarsal bones. We covered the tibia and fibula. And then our toes are just called our phalanges, with our big toe specifically having the name of the hallux. So this is our hallux. But all of our toes as a group, the bones that make them up, are called our phalanges. And that's all the bones of the foot and lower leg.